What's up? Are we live? Are we live? We in this? Keeping off the swear words. The start of this. Yeah. We in here for a chill late night stream for me. Yeah. Going over all of the Oscar nominees. I can show you already. I got a nasty tier list over here that we have to adjust in a bit. We'll get to it in a second. But we literally have every movie in here. I just realized I sorted this all out, and now it's just okay. Perfect start. I organized it all to have like the best picture, then animated or whatever. As soon as I enter the presentation mode, I just go, fuck it. Let's just reorder the whole thing. Who cares? Because, yeah, certainly I didn't ask. What's up, Josh? How far along are you into your entire watch through the of the Oscar nominees? Hold on. Let's pull up some really chill. Okay, that's not so chill. Oof, yes, way better. All right. But yeah, today we'll go over all of these films. Kitten's already fighting for the attention on this. And now he's left. Hello. I'm back. All right, I guess he doesn't want to. But yeah, that's the plan for today. Pretty simple. Actually, while we're at it, while we are just getting into things, let's just rearrange this real quick. Sick again, you lost your voice? Ah, that sucks. I mean, great time to be watching movies though, you know? You can't really do much else. Then yeah, why not just watch them? Like what's the biggest movie you're still missing? Let's see. Because it was a bit of a hassle to get through all of them. Some of them were not like the easiest to find. Can be honest. Gotta be honest. Wait, hold on. Let me close my window real quick. Alright, let's get into it. He's just flat on the. What a little cutie. He'll stay in the background. All right. Yeah, let's get into this. All right. First up, I do want to quickly change this around again, though. So we want the best picture 10 over here, so we can kind of go through them one by one. And then all the shorts can go to the back. This can come up to here. This is doc, this is a doc, this is a short. International, something else, short, animation, documentary, short, international. Where did I put international? This is riveting. What else is there? I can zoom in a bit, by the way. I guess I can just full screen it. Oh. There we go. This is documentary, but short. Best picture, international. Short. Animated, Best Picture, Animated, International, no. Best Picture on, oh shit. This is the wrong one, but it's Night Ride. Triangle of Sadness, not the Best Picture one. This is just performances. International. But I put international over here. We got all 5 of those. What else is left? This is not a short. This is not an animated one. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh wait, do we have 10? No, I don't think we have 10. Wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Where's the 10th one? Ah, Top Gun. I'm missing Top Gun. How could I forget about Top Gun? Okay. So like from here to here we have a Best Picture 10. Then we got Marcel, Seabees, Pinocchio, Puss in Boots, and Turning Red for the animated ones. Then we got Navalny, All That Breathes, Fire of Love, House Made of Splinters, and All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. That's the documentaries. International feature, EO, The Quiet Girl, No After Sun. It's Scottish, but that's not foreign enough for the Oscars. Argentina, Bardo, and then this is Empire of Light for cinematography. This is like screenplay for this. So it's all over the place with the last few here until we're up to here with the shorts. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So that's all of them. All right. So we have, I think, are set to jump into this right now. So let me intro it real quick for you to give you a brief overview of what the plan is for today. All right. Okay, so there are way too many movies that get nominated for an Oscar each year. This year, we had 54 films in total. 10 of them get nominated for Best Picture. There's a variety of other ones that are animated, that are international. Some get nominated just for the performances alone, and some of them just for a silly little song that they make. I'm talking about You, Tell It Like a Woman. There's also a bunch of shorts. I ended up watching every single one of them. So today we are putting this to test and ranking them from S to F. And there's one thing we got to do before we start, which is actually not doing that, but deleting the row of haven't watched, because I have seen every single one of these films. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Cool. First up, we are kicking it off. Maybe I can zoom in a bit more so we can kind of see the outline. This is, by the way, not one that I created myself. That's why Night Ride is it's definitely that's not the Night Ride that I remember. Oh fuck, I forgot to transition over to this. That's not the Night Ride I remember. But I watched all of these throughout the year. Some of them I caught back at some festivals. But for most of them, I do have a kind of a good recollection of what they are like. So let's jump in. First up, we got Steven Spielberg's most personal film to date, I'd say. Also, one of his best ones in a decade. Now, even if you don't know much about Spielberg, is it worth checking out The Fabelmans? I don't know if this music is the vibe. Alright, I love this. This is way more chill. Is Fabelmans worth seeking out, yet another Spielberg film? If you've been let down from him in the last decade, is it a change of pace? Yes, most definitely. The Fabelmans is one of my favorite movies out of the entire Best Picture lineup. To me, it is very close to an S tier movie. I'm putting it at the very top of A tier. So go seek it out if you haven't already. If you are somewhat into filmmaking, I feel like you'll definitely get a lot out of it. If you got divorced parents, even better, man. You gotta have so much to relate to that. Anyways, let's go over the next film, which if you tune into the Quiet and Sit podcast, We did a whole review for pretty much, I think, apart from Elvis, I think for every single one of them, one of these films from the Best Picture 10 lineup. We did an own episode on it. So you can go check that out if you're interested in like more in-depth thoughts. But I thought Avatar was kind of mid. It had some amazing effects. I don't think it didn't, like, it's not like I'm telling anyone to, hey, if you haven't seen this film, then go check it out, because, well, I don't know if you've heard, but this movie made a bit of money, like, you know, 2.2 billion type of deal, like that amount of money, like third time highest grossing film of all time, which, by the way, we are getting to the 12th pick in a bit with Top Gun Maverick, which also had an incredible box office run. So 2 box office hits in the lineup, which is, it's not too common. I mean, you got the biopics that tend to do well, like Elvis. That's definitely like in the top 30, I'd say, probably. But Avatar, controversially, I know Lachlan, my co-host of the Quiet Answer podcast, he adores Avatar, so he'd be really mad if he could watch right now. But guess what? It's like 3 a.m. in the morning, or like 6 in Australia, and what's he gonna do, huh? Turn me blue? Which, by the way, he lost a bet. He still has to do like a full episode completely blue. So we gotta keep on that before I forget. Anyways, let's talk about the other box office hit. I really like Top Gun. In a sense of, like, as a European, as much as you can like this type of yeah, we have a great military, and we got Tom Cruise, which is amazing, type of film, where at the center of it all, I think the action set pieces up in the sky, the adrenaline rush you get watching that film, that's what it's made for, and that's where it shines, that's what it does the best. But as soon as the eagle lands, man, I had a good time because I was laughing. You know, I was just, I don't know if it always was intentional for the movie to make me laugh at points. I really liked it. It's a B tier for me when it comes to the films, you know. We're gonna get to more deep cuts later on as we progress further down the list of obscurity as well, and what you've already seen. I feel like these two are probably the films that you've already seen, you know, if you're just a bit interested in film. Next up, the Palme d'Or winner, Triangle of Sadness. I went into this film in, yeah, I'm actually wearing the gun head to flex on all of you. I'm just being the biggest douchebag I can possibly be, without knowing anything of where the story leads to, and I'm not even gonna spoil it here. And I think it's, I don't know, I think it's not like super deep, and if you have the aspiration for a satire to like do something really, like, I don't know, game-changing for society, like, criticize it and change it. That's not what this movie is, although I don't know completely what the intentions are of someone like Ruben Östlund, to make, like, something so satirical. I get why some people hate it and really don't like where he takes the direction of the story, and don't really connect with it on this humor level. I really liked it. So for me, it made it, I think, into my top 10. So I'm putting it on the A tier here. It's not the highest of highs, not surpassing Spielberg for me. But if you want a good laugh, another movie that's not nominated at all, The Menu, I think is more universally appealing. This is more, I think, also a bit longer. It asks you to be a bit more patient, and then it doesn't really arrive at a really easy ending, and it's like not one that I liked. Neither did I with The Menu, by the way, but I don't know. Satires are hard to like cap off, if I'm being honest. They're better in the individual moments and the satirical bits, but then closing them is like, I don't know, where do you end? Where do you find the natural conclusion to whatever you've been setting up towards? Anyways, Elvis, is it an F tier? No, it's got some redeeming factors. Does it deserve to be in the Best Picture 10? Well, I don't know, if you're over 50, then maybe you'd think so, but I'm just kind of sick of that same type of biopic formula. And to be fair, for Elvis, there's a lot of different things that Baz Luhrmann brings to this, especially visually. He also brings us Tom Hanks visually, which is not great. It just doesn't really work. Austin Butler is amazing. I think he deserves to be nominated for Best lead, I wish it would go to someone else, literally anyone else in the category, like even Bill Nye. I'd love to see win this. He's great in it. I just don't like these type of performances to win over and over again, if that makes sense. But no shade to the guy. He's great in it. So the movie isn't, though. In my opinion, it's a bit of a visual clusterfuck. But yeah, hey, you win some, you lose some. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yes. I mean, it's S tier, man. If you have been sleeping on Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, then wake up, wake the fuck up and go watch it right now. It's so much fun. It has, like, you know, the type of humor that's easily digestible. It's got some really heartfelt moments, a lot of laugh out loud moments as well. I haven't revisited it, if that's correct. Yeah, no, in like over 6 months. So I definitely got to give it another try. But I was thinking, hey, if it wins Best Picture, why not just like rewatch it right after the Oscars? So I don't know, I might be doing that, but it's currently the front runner. It won so many things, like among the SAGs last weekend. It got like 4 big awards: ensemble, supporting, in both categories, and lead for Michelle Yeoh. So literally everything it could have gotten, it got, which is impressive. And at this point, I think it's between this S tier movie and The Banshees of Inisherin for Martin McDonagh, knocking it out of the park. It's probably my favorite Martin McDonagh film. It's just about these two guys rowing, and you're just wondering why the older guy is really mad at the younger one. Why is that? Do we ever get a conclusion to it? Well, yes, I guess, kinda, but it's also hopeful. It's depressing at the same time. It's like morbid, but then also ultimately really wholesome. So it's such a great mix. It's an incredible screenplay with even better performances. So I just wish that, like, because these are both up for original screenplay, I hope that Banshees takes screenplay, and then the Everything Everywhere All at Once takes director, and then picture. So there's at least something that goes to this amazing script. But we'll see. Same goes for Tar. I'd love to see that win something as well, which I want to put The Fabelmans up on the S tier as well. I'm changing my mind because I technically have like 5 movies with Everything Everywhere All at Once, like closing it out when it comes to like the ranking, and it's this so far. Well, maybe we'll get some other films that later on will join the S tier, but so far this is also like the ranking. Next up, we got Tardo, like barely missing S tier. I haven't had a chance to revisit it for a 3rd time. I feel like that, like, each viewing will hold like some different kind of aspect that you can just gravitate, like grapple yourself onto, and just kind of just try to observe it. And it gives a lot of leeway to do that, and that's fun. It's a great movie. It's not just one-dimensional, trying to put forward one message. It's not satirical, but it's actually quite similar, like not at all in the subject matter or whatever, but something like Triangle of Sadness, which is a satirical film, you know, bringing up these kinds of societal observations and then condemnations as well. And in Tar, it's explored more dramatically, and in Triangle of Sadness a bit more comedically. So 2 really unique twists on that formula that don't feel like, you know, too people-pleasing, if that makes sense. That's maybe why both of these films like really loved or really hated. But yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front, a really solid war film. I put that on the A tier as well. Gotta say, overall, when it comes to the selection this year, I'm really happy with it. If there's one film, we'll get to it later on, I would have loved to have seen that like sneak its way into the Best Picture 10, but we got a solid year of film, so it's nice to be celebrating these fantastic films. Same goes for Women Talking, which I really like, but I'm putting it above Top Gun, by the way. But it was just something like the cinematography really got me out of it. The conversations were great. The performances were pretty much like for all of them. I quite liked them. Not every single one of them. But it's basically this group of women from a colony that has a problem of sexual assault happening over and over and over again, and they gotta decide, do they stay or do they leave? And instead of just making it really easy, each character is kind of given, you know, one perspective for leaving, for going, and there's different reasons. They're all fully fleshed out, written characters that have a lot of baggage that they bring onto, but not just like that as their backdrop for the character, but also they discuss those things kind of they discuss it in a really in-depth way, where they go on tantrums and give each other like actually listen to each other, or then when they don't listen to each other, it gets really intense. So it's a great conversational movie. Yeah. Go check it out. So that's our best picture lineup. The 3 S-tier movies are probably the ones that are also the highest likely to win. But I just assume it will go to Everything Everywhere All at Once at this point. I would be surprised by anything else happening, to be honest. The animated feature section got some great films in here, especially I'd say these first 3. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, a stop-motion animated film from, I guess, a bunch of YouTube shorts with Jenny Slate and Dan Fleischer Camp, I think is his name. He's also doing the Lilo and Stitch live-action remake. And this film is just really wholesome. It's great. It's really, really charming. I'd also put it into the B tier because we can't have it so, like, heavily stacked towards the top. We don't get me wrong, we'll get some D tier and maybe even F tier movies, but they'll come on later, because like most of the selection is actually really good. Pinocchio. I'd put Pinocchio one step above Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. It's also the one that's most likely to win. If you want to get your predictions in, then go with Everything Everywhere and Pinocchio for these 2 categories. Because it's a movie that manages to have like death at the center of it all, of the whole story, but then tell this coming of age story about like family and I don't know, belonging. There's so much stuff that he packs into it. And he's just an amazing filmmaker. I'd love to see him do more stop motion. He's really capable. Him and Wes Anderson, amazing. Like they can do live action, but I feel like can do stop motion even better in parts. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That's been getting raving reviews. I think it's great. It's an amazing movie. I wouldn't go so far as like, you know, it's been cracking the Letterboxd 100 with like a 4.3 rating or something like that. That's a bit crazy. It's a really solid movie. It's got some amazing villains. The whistle guy, the wolf that just chases Puss is he was harrowing. I wish I could rewatch this. I unfortunately only was able to watch this dubbed and not subbed. So I did like have to listen to like synchronized voices doing animation, which is not as bad as when it is live action, but still it took away from it. But Puss in Boots, go seek it out. It's visually really stunning. And it's one of the better Shrek sequels. I think goes at this point, at least for me, it's like Shrek 1, Shrek 2, and then Puss in Boots 2. And then we don't want to talk about the other 3 films. Anyways, The Sea Beast is it's kind of funny that it similarly lines up with the Golden Text with Glass Onion. But The Sea Beast has like a Carl Urban supporting performance. I don't know if the girl is an established actress yet. I don't think so. I haven't seen her in much, I think. But this is just a really passable movie. You know, between these 2 Sea Beast films, I definitely prefer Avatar because Sea Beast kind of has a really bland look to it as well. But it's all right. It's not great though. It's nothing to be raving about. All right, yo, what's up, Wiley? We got quite a few more picks to go, but we'll continue with the last animated film in the lineup, the only Pixar film. You know, they did make another film that was a Toy Story, not prequel, because it was like kind of in a really roundabout way connected to the rest of Lightyear, but then based on, I don't even care. It's too confusing, and the movie was just kind of okay. I felt the same about Turning Red. I definitely gotta give it a rewatch because I saw some clips throughout the award season now, and I was like, maybe I should give it another try. Maybe I was just like not open to it. So I've seen a lot of people love it quite a bit, but I love to see the love for animation go to, not Netflix, but I guess Guillermo del Toro with Pinocchio, or like something smaller, like Marcel the Shell, or I guess not DreamWorks. Who does? That's not. No, it is DreamWorks that does the Shrek franchise. But yeah, to them, for a change. But yeah, because Encanto I think won last year, which was Disney, which wasn't. Never mind. I'm retracting my statements. All right, next up, we got all of the documentaries. I think this is the first category where some people would check out. I know that even myself, I had to catch up on a few of these. The only one that I had seen, actually, before the nominations were fully announced, was All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. And I even missed it in Venice. I was in Venice. It won like the not the Palm, but like the Gold Lion, I think. And I missed it there. I didn't see it. So I caught it later on. It's an amazing movie. I think it is. Where do I put it? I don't know. It's like right on the brink for me. I do have it right behind Triangle of Sadness. Yeah. Yeah, this is my current lineup here. But it's a story about Nan Golding, who's an artist, and you follow her in real time, or like in current time, where she's protesting the inclusion of the Sackler family, kind of having being included for the money that they donate to museums, and basically have their name washed from all the sins. If you don't know the Sackler family, they are basically the family responsible for the opioid pandemic that's really having harrowing implications, effects on the US, and they distribute it, and they make a shit ton of money off it, and then they pay museums to have their names bold and bright and big in the exhibitions. And she's fighting that, and then also it goes back to tell more of her like story when she was younger, and I'm forgetting what exactly it is about there, but it basically contextualizes or like puts those two things together as she's fighting for basically the same systemic like fuck-ups that still haven't been fully solved. So it's great. It's like it has some riveting editing. I think it's like it goes on for a bit too long, but you know, it's all right. It's pretty good. Navalny, I think now is kind of probably one of the front runners for the Oscars. Before, I think it was between Fire of Love and All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, but this is about Navalny, which is who's a counter, I guess, contestant, opponent, whatever, to Putin. He was getting he was really popular, getting more and more popular, and then there was an assassination attempt on him, and basically this tells the whole story of how they uncover that. It follows him before, as the attack happens, and then basically as they confirm like that Putin actually did this. And it's like that phone call, there's a phone call in the movie, I don't want to spoil it, that is amazing. That basically is like the confirmation of what's happening, and you're just like on the edge of your seat. It's like the best type of thriller. I think it was all right. in the presentation, it was kind of just, yeah, cool. It's pretty good. But I think because it is so timely and like, you know, the fuck Russia sentiment is kind of at its height for collectively for 2022. I feel like this has a fair shot, but it's going up against Fire of Love, which is probably the most stunning looking, especially documentary in the section. It's about these two volcanoes. That is not the word, but they're like experts when it comes to volcanoes. They photograph it, and they a videographer and a photographer, and they go on these really dangerous missions to capture these volcanoes. And it basically tells the story through all of the countless archival footage that they have shot themselves. And it's, I mean, it's a really beautiful story. It's tells the story of like their love for fire of love. Amazing documentary that I think is streaming on Disney Plus, so really easily accessible. I think Navalny is on HBO Max for those of you in the States. I don't know where all the Beauty and the Bloodshed is available. All the briefs I'm not too sure about as well. I was just kind of bored with this stock. I get why it could be really interesting. It's about like what does it say in the synopsis? It says, against the darkening backdrop of New Delhi's apocalyptic air and escalating violence, two brothers devote their lives to protecting the one casualty of the turbulent times, the bird known as the black kite. To me, this was kind of just, hold on, let me change the music. To me, this is a bit like all over the place, if I'm being honest. It isn't really about the bird at all. It's more about like the current like state of New Delhi, and I don't know if I'm just a douche, but I was not that interested. So it's all right. It gets in the C tier. And then the only film that I really didn't enjoy was A House Made of Splinters, which is about these children, these Ukrainian children that are put into a house near the border, away from all of the fighting, in safety. It's not one that's about the most recent attack, but it's like, I think it's like from 2015. Let me actually check. It doesn't say on the side, but I think it's like not like that recent. It also came out like 1 or 2 years ago. I think it premiered at Sundance. But yeah, it's yeah, no, then at the start of it, it says like on February 24th, 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Two days prior, the children were evacuated by staff the western region, but the war raging across the country. Nowhere in Ukraine is safe. So like these children are still there, and then in like the actual times later on, they were evacuated. But this takes place before like the 2022 war. But yeah, it's like pretty basic. I didn't find it like too interesting. I guess like the surrounding story is more interesting than that. All right, let's get to. And to make sure I have a voice by the end of it. It's not like Josh. I don't know what Josh has been doing, but Josh in chat has completely lost his voice. So yeah, and I don't know why I'm like picturing the grandma in SpongeBob right now. It's just like completely dried up. So yeah, that's that. All right. Next up, let's get to the international feature category, which I think is basically at this point, I forgot to even pull it. No, it's not in here already, because All Quiet is already up in A tier. Where it deserves to be. It's, to me, not the best film out of the lineup here. I'd put 2 other films above it. I'm just really surprised to not see Decision to Leave in here. Decision to Leave. Park Chan-wook's Decision to Leave. Go check it out on Mubi. Amazing film. Didn't get a single nomination. Grave, like, I don't know. It's just a big mistake. The Donkey movie or the Argentina movie. No need for those 2 in here. The other 3, though, deservedly so in here. All Quiet is great. The Quiet Girl, boom, goes up into A tier. Let me actually see that I'm staying consistent with my ratings. Yeah, I do have it above All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't have it above Tar, though. It's like, yeah. Which is about like this shy 12-year-old girl that gets to live with her relatives on the countryside, and her parents are kind of shitty, but she gets to stay with them. And then there's like a connection that she makes with her relatives there, and there's some kind of loss that they have experienced. That's some underlying hurt that they haven't fully processed yet, and she brings it up in, like, you know, ways that they have to deal with it, but then also brings out so much compassion and love. It's just like it's a really, really touching little film. Yeah, go check it out if you haven't already. But my favorite for a long time, my favorite of the year for a whole bit, was Close. I think I do definitely need to revisit this one. I've only seen it once, I think in August. And I don't know if I'll change my mind on it anytime soon, because it's a really, I mean, I gave it 5 stars. It's a story about a 14-year-old boy called Leo, and he has a friend called Remy, and they've just always been close. But that's not something that comes easy when you're 13, when people start to question their relationship, you know, their sexuality. And I love how that's not ever kind of the center point of the story, but it's more about I guess, you know, what can cause a rift between two people, how can trust be hurt from outside forces, and what ultimately can be the gravest implications of that. And it explores grief and trauma and just hurt in such a delicate but also heart-wrenching like way. It's incredibly beautiful. It's also one of the most well-shot films of the year. It's just amazing all around. Yeah, I love Close. The Donkey movie, though. What about the Donkey movie, though, man? It's alright. It's alright. I put it right next to Avatar. Just slightly above it. It's the donkey movie. The donkey movie that's like, how sad is this donkey's life and how fucked up are humans. That's basically the story of the whole film. We follow this donkey along on a really sad journey, where he just tries to exist, tries to be alive, tries to make some friends, but he's just always hurt along the way because humans suck. And that's relatable. And it's done like super well. I was just like, it's great. It's good. Does it need to be in over some of these other films? Sure, maybe. I don't know. I would have loved to have seen Corsage. Like I said, Decision to Leave would have been another great pick. Paris didn't... Paris. Oh my god. France didn't submit it. They submitted Saint-Omer, which didn't get in. But I would have loved to have seen like something like Les Enfants des Autres, another great film, get in here. RRR got shut out. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. It would probably land around the same tier as EO for me personally. But yeah, this is what we got. This is a really deep cut. I don't think a lot of people will go check this out. But if you are interested, it's streaming on the Criterion channel. So yeah, if you want to. Then this Amazon Prime production that won the Golden Globe. Yes, it's like right next to it in C. It's a pretty standard court drama thing. If you've seen Trial of the Chicago 7 from Aaron Sorkin a couple of years ago, this is very similar to that, but I guess set in Argentina, and there's also like an equally impactful political backdrop, arguably even more impactful than the one that like we get in Trial of the Chicago 7. And I mean, it's solid in a court drama if you want to do a court drama, but it's like not like particularly interesting or like groundbreaking in a sense like Everything Everywhere All at Once is, or some of the docs here are. It's just not really that unique. It's just like from a country that typically maybe doesn't do these films too often or gets a limelight put onto them. But that's Argentina 1985. I mean, I really think that All Quiet being in the Best Picture 10, it will definitely get the win. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, definitely will. It would be so surprising if something else wins. I put Bardo here because I thought it was nominated for Best International Feature, but it's not. It's for Cinematography. So these are actually 2 cinematography noms here with Empire of Light and Bardo. Where are the other ones? Was Batman? I don't even know. Was it Batman? We'll just put it over here. It just kind of makes sense. What it was just visual effects. I know that the cinematography one was kind of crazy because Top Gun didn't get in, but then Empire got it. Bardo got it. I think Avatar also didn't get it. Elvis got it, I think, as well. I think All Quiet got it as well. And I don't think Everything Everywhere got it. Anyways, it's all over the place. Cinematography was the craziest categories for the nominations. I don't know what the frontrunner is, by the way. I'm just perplexed. I mean, Bardo would be cool because it's so unique. I feel like the most technical movie overall is probably All Quiet. So I just assume it goes to that. But cinematography, the strongest aspect of Bardo, I'd say, in a story that overall otherwise is a bit all over the place, a bit unfocused, a bit too conscious stream of whatever thoughts that Iñárritu had put onto screen. I haven't seen the cut down version. I watched the original, like almost 3-hour long cut in Venice, and yeah, it's all right. What can I say? I was kind of bored by it, but it's not too bad, so I'll put it into the C tier. If you're interested in Iñárritu, I guess it gives like his side on things of like having the success in the States, but then also his home with Mexico and his own family, and how that just all is really scrambled together in a messy way. And it has some interesting visual ideas that, apart from, I guess, looking interesting, aren't fully fleshed out as something like Tar, which does those whenever they do something with the cinematography, with something out there, with, if you've seen it, like sometimes in the background, like there's actually someone sitting, and as they pan around, and like as if there's like ghosts in it, that she's like actually haunted, and those are way more subtle than the stuff that Iñárritu goes for in Bardo. Just wasn't really my jam. Empire of Light, kind of disappointing, if I'm being honest. Not great, but also not bad. I think it was better than Bardo. It was better than Turning Red. Was it better than Avatar? No, probably not. From Sam Mendes, which maybe some people know for his 1917, his almost Best Picture winner from a couple of years ago. He also did American Beauty. He did two of the James Bond films, Spectre and Skyfall. And Empire of Light is the story, about like, I guess, two people who both work at this theater, and one of them is, I guess, like, plagued by the racism he has to endure in his time, and the other one's just like, has like really severe depression, and they help each other out. They fall in love. It's just not that deep. It didn't really work that great. And apart from like this shot that they keep using over and over again of like the fireworks, I don't know if there's like really they just use that, and all of that they probably got the cinematography nom. But yeah, that's that. Batman is amazing. Goes into the A tier. Probably my favorite, like, I guess, superhero film of last year. There weren't too many great ones, if I'm being honest. And Batman knocks it out of the park. He's vengeance. He's great. Stylistically, I think this is... It's just a lot of fun. It had some really great, like, sound things that happened. The score was amazing. Yeah, thought the visual effects were great, the cinematography especially. I also dug the performances. This really was the year for Colin Farrell. We got him as the Penguin. We got him as Patrick in Banshees of Inisherin. He was also in After Yang. Maybe even, to me, I like his performance in that even more than I do like his in Banshees. Way smaller performance, though. Would never get nominated. But a great other film if you haven't seen it already. But yeah. Where was I? What did I just drop off? The Batman. Yeah. I mean, it did incredibly well at the box office as well. So I feel like a lot of people have seen that one. Okay. Am I emotionally ready for this film? We're actually just showing it at the theater that I work tomorrow for the last time, and then it's not playing in theaters anymore after Sun. I mean, let me just show you. You see these 4 favorites? You see this little movie here on the right? It is After Sun. It's my favorite movie in I don't know how many years. I guess since 2019. I wouldn't put it above Portrait of a Lady on Fire. That's kind of... It's like really close for me with like something like Parasite and Uncut Gems. Nothing from 2020 or 2021 beats it. To me, this like deeply personal story of a father and a daughter, as like collected as this memory that stays with this character for a long time. Like this film that is just like purely emotional as you go through it, and you can just feel a certain uneasiness, but also it's like you remember like unlock own memories that you have from your childhood with childhood in it as you watch it. I think for me it just like completely worked as a movie, as an emotional engagement media thing, and just like as well, just sonically, you know, listening to the soundtrack after. It's just a complete package. I really adore After Sun. So if like this is all for nothing, go check out After Sun. That's like my biggest recommendation. Glass Onion. Glass Onion was fine. Glass Onion is pretty good. I'd put it into the B tier. Living. Go watch Ikiru. Put that in the B tier. Remake of an Akira Kurosawa film. Yeah, really solid. I was actually at the premiere there in Venice, and the one and only Bill Nighy was like sitting 3 rows behind me, and I was like peeking. Yeah, he's a very delightful person. Oh my, are we ready for this next one? Okay, so Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is an book adaptation, and it got nominated for costumes. I'd say somewhat deservedly so. I don't know what else got nominated because I don't really particularly care about that category. But the movie's pretty horrific. I really didn't like it. I feel like you gotta be 50 plus to adore it. I don't know, it just wasn't really my jam. I want to complete the F category. Tell it like a woman. If this has been a movie that you've never heard about, well, there's a reason for that. There's this person who I'm not naming, but like who I'm not naming, just period. That's campaigning her songs and the movies that are associated with it each year at the Oscars. And in the last like 12 years, I think she's been nominated like each year for like a decade or something like that, like really close to that. And it's always these obscure movies that would never get another nomination. Maybe they get something like a supporting performance or something like that, but they're usually pretty shit films that have an even more shit song, and they get nominated somehow at the Oscars. And this is another one of those. It's a really bad movie. It's just a complete mess. It's horrible. Don't check that out. Don't even don't even listen to the song. I don't remember what it was, but it's like something really generic. So yeah, that's that. Brian Tyree Henry got a bit of publicity for Causeway, an Apple TV Plus production with Jennifer Lawrence. I think his performance is definitely the best thing the movie has going for it. Let me actually see it. Where do I have it ranked? Yeah, I do have it ranked around here in the C tier for Causeway. It's alright. It's like both these people wrestling with their trauma and having just talks between each other. I just kind of would have liked to have more of those just one-on-one conversations, because they worked best in the film. And we do get a lot of those, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of wanted to get a bit more of an engagement out of it, and I didn't really. But a solid performance from Brian Tyree Henry. He's amazing. Got lots more to come, and I'm sure it's not going to be his last nomination for his work. Oh, we do actually have RRR here. So I can, yeah, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people really love this. They got this like all the way up here. I didn't like it, if I'm being honest. I just kind of thought it was a bit annoying. And yeah, wasn't really my jam. I'd actually put it like over here-ish would be more accurate. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Now Turning Red is like this. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you like it, then you like it. It's just like that really energetic type of over-the-top action. Even if it's not to be taken seriously, I was a bit bored of it. And then its runtime, it was killing me. Wasn't the biggest fan of it. Now, something that I liked way more than a lot of other people did, but no, I actually didn't. I was kind of in the middle on Babylon. Also another like 3-hour-long movie. It's a really popular, I guess, ending montage now, has made the rounds. I think it's a B-tier movie. Babylon, B-tier. And it's definitely Damien Chazelle's. I got like, Jesus Christ, there's like cat hair everywhere. I'm looking at you, little kitten. That was you. You left it there. God. Where was I? Babylon. Yeah, no, Babylon was fun, a great experience, but the ending montage is just a bit too cheesy for me to like really like it. But yeah, that's that. Blonde. I came out of this film in Venice, like not like at the world premiere. No one else had seen it, and I came out of it not really hating it. The more I think about it now, there's a lot more problems. I just thought that like some of the stylistic choices were like interesting. Ultimately, I think it's just a bit of a narrative mess. It only is in here, I think, for Ana de Armas supporting performance. I don't know if it got any other nomination, but it's like it's right there next to RRR, which I know will upset a lot of people because they were like, "Ooh, Blonde, terrible." I thought it was fine. It wasn't like horrible. Let's see. The Whale. The Whale. Another film that I really enjoyed. I put that up in the A tier right next to Tar. Brendan Fraser just got the SAG win. He might even take home the Oscar win. He's up against Austin Butler and Colin Farrell though. But I think it's between him and Austin Butler at this point. And I'd love to see the big man win. It's a really solid performance. Probably like the best thing about the film. Apart from Hong Chow. So yeah, that's that. Really solid performance. Now next up, the film that caused a bunch of controversy. To Leslie for Andrea Riseborough and her getting a last-minute Oscar nomination for, I guess, a less conventional campaigning effort. I just found this movie to be like more of the same. Of these type of, there's a struggling person, there's a fucked up family, and there's like a, I guess, solid performance for someone who's the fucked up person. It didn't really do much for me. I was just kind of bored with it for most of the time. So I can't really give that a proper shout out and tell you to go seek it out. If you don't care, then don't waste your time on it. Wakanda Forever. If you are watching the MCU films, then you've definitely seen this one as well. Now, where does it rank? It's actually a bit of a tougher one. I think just because it's both water people, I'll put it right next to Avatar. I think this movie has interesting visuals, but like a really boring story. Like nothing about it is that interesting. This movie has pretty horrible visuals when it comes to the underwater stuff, and just the overall CGI isn't that great. The look of it isn't great either. But it's got some interesting story points that it brings up. Not perfect, not like amazing, not nowhere near as good as like Killmonger and that villain from the first one, but pretty solid. So yeah, solid in the C tier. And okay. So these are all sorry. So these are all the films that were nominated for an Oscar. At the very top, we got After Sun, Close, Banshees, Fablemans, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think those are definitely worth checking out and must watch. Then Tar, The Whale, The Quiet Girl, The Batman, All Quiet on the Western Front, Pinocchio, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, that is, Triangle of Sadness, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, and Fire of Love. I'd say all of these films are definitely, if you haven't seen them already, go seek it out. They won't waste your time at all. And from there on out, you can make your way through of what seems appealing to you. But yeah, that's that. Now we got 15 more shorts to rank. Those, I guess, are the categories that not a ton of people tend to care about. But let's kick it off with the animated ones. Just get them in order here. These, okay, then let's do the documentaries next. This, no, Hall Out, and Stranger at the Gate. Okay, cool. All right, these 15 films are the last ones we'll put onto this tier list. First up, the Apple TV Plus children's book come to animated short featuring your mom's favorite quotes to put onto the wall. I don't know. It's unfortunately, like, it's really got an amazing look to it, and I feel like the strongest thing about these animated shorts is that they can do unique styles in all of these that wouldn't be viable to do in something like the Sea Beast or Turning Red, or like this. You know, you got like a determined look. You can go stylize it like in Pinocchio, or like, you know, there's a lot of different sequences. I think that like Spider-Man Across Into the Spider-Verse opened up a lot of the avenues to experiment a bit in your visual style, and you can do that with these. It's not, none of them actually like do something incredibly innovating, but still, this looks really stunning. But it's just a really cookie cutter story where it doesn't really connect with the characters. And I think it's alright. It goes into the C tier. My Year of Dicks, I was a bit let down. There's a lacking amount of dicks in the film. And I wasn't really vibing with it, but it's definitely the film that tries to do the most unique things in like the changing of styles for emphasizing on the character's emotions. I just didn't really connect with it. Now, something that works on a stylistic level, on a storytelling level, on whatever level you want for a short film like this, then go with The Ice Merchants. That's streaming on, I think, The New Yorker. You can find it there. If you can't, if you buy it away, if you're not from the States, I think they lock you out of it. Just get a VPN and change it to the US. You should be able to watch it for free. But that goes all the way to the top, right behind Pinocchio. I think these are the both the most solid nominated animated achievements of the year. Great little story that doesn't use like dialogue or whatever. It just tells its story beautifully. So go check it out. It's just like, like for all of these, if they're good, you know, they won't waste more than like 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Wait, that's not the vibe right now. Let's go. So yeah, can say the same thing about An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I think I believe it. A stop motion tale about exactly that. A guy in his routine discovers that he's part of a stop motion film this world is not real. And then you get to see like a lot of the, I guess, behind the scenes work when it comes to that, where they, like you can see the wider framing and then the, I guess, focused up frame of the stop motion being at work and the stories being told for that. I liked it. I think it was quite innovative in that way. Had a great time with it, and I'll put it probably like right alongside this other animated feature here with Puss in Boots. The Flying Sailor is a story. Is something based on an actual story. A guy who gets like blown up and then he flies around. He's a flying sailor up in the air, but he survives. And he's naked and he's flying. And there's more dick in this than the Year of Dicks. But they deserve to be like right next to each other because, I don't know, this really tried to tell me the whole story of this person. And I just kind of wasn't interested. This told me like nothing about this person other than, well, he like was catapulted for like, I don't know, a mile or whatever. And that's what this is about. And it's, I guess it's like, it's kind of funny, but it's not like that interesting for short film. So that's all the animated shorts. Next up, the documentaries. First up, The Elephant Whisperer. I think this one is streaming on Netflix. Put it into the D tier as well. I don't know what it was, but the shorts are kind of hit or miss. There's like usually the one that tends to be the worst, especially in live action, is the one that wins for some reason. We'll get to that in a second of what I think is worse and what is most likely to win by that logic. But yeah, it's about these people who take care of the elephants, and I just was like, okay, that's what's happening. Cool. Nothing really that interesting. If I want something that's interesting with humans, humans up against like the force of nature, with animals, or like fighting against it with climate change. Oh my god, making all the connections. Then Haul Out is, I think it's also streaming on the New Yorker. Is great. I think let's put that right up next to Ice Merchants. I love it. Do I even put it higher than that? No, I think I would realistically put it a bit lower. I think these are definitely like better documentaries overall. It's probably like a high B tier. Oh my god, I don't want to retrace too much, but it's like, it's really simple. It's just like this one guy who's stuck in a little cabin, and he's surrounded by like a fuck ton of these what are they called? What are they called? Doesn't say in the it doesn't say in the description of it. Wait, why wouldn't it say? He's observing the natural thing of fuck. What is it called? Well, big ass creatures, all right? They're just stranded there and they're dying because we are so shit at I don't know, taking care of nature. And it's just really impactful with not really any words, just capturing it. And it's a great little doc. I think it does exactly what it sets out to do. Wouldn't be appalled if this wins. That would actually be really fun. I don't think it will, because they will go with something more cheesy that's ultimately like not that interesting. Like, how do you measure a year? A dad puts up a camera, has a bunch of questions that he asks his kid year after year, on each of her birthdays, and it becomes about like their relationship a bit, but it is like really candid in the way that it's not like forcing anything. But then ultimately it brings up like the question as well, like, well, when I started this, I chose these questions, and now like 18 years later I gotta stick by them, by the ones that I ask you. Is this just like, or like 15 years, am I just an idiot for like the questions I chose? Are they still relevant? Or it's more about like their relationship then, but we only ever get those glimpses, nothing else beside like these 1 year long ellipses in time where we don't get to see them. And for that, it's like fun to see someone grow up on screen real quick. It's like the same effect of like, hey, I'm growing out my hair or whatever, and then like someone grows out the hair. It's like, or like aging. But it's not much more than that, unfortunately. But yeah, the Martha Mitchell effect. Dude, I don't know. I thought her hair was crazy. That's my biggest observation that I have. Watergate, I guess she was someone who was integral to like the whistleblowing fully happening or whatever. I tuned out. I wasn't really too interested. I just was obliged to watch all of the nominees, so that's what I did. I was kind of bored though. It's better than Elvis. It's better than Elvis. I gotta cut it some slack. All right, last one. Stranger at the Gate. Stranger at the Gate. It's not. I don't know. It's like somewhere here, maybe. I don't know. It's about this guy who's worked for the military. He's killed countless people, and he comes back with a deep hatred, and he's basically set on blowing up a mosque and killing a bunch of people. And then instead of doing that, he goes in and talks to them, and then it's about a redeeming story of this guy. I feel like this is the type of film that the Oscars will eat up, that they will reward, unfortunately. I think there's nothing like inherently evil about it or bad or whatever. It just feels like something that you don't need to inherently, like, I don't know. You don't need to capture it and then submit it for an Oscar and get notoriety out of it. Just do it. You know, the hurt is there. You have caused hurt. You're trying to heal. The people who you were thinking about hurting further are reaching out, are being really open to you. And that's a process. That's a healing process. That's great to see. But it's such a like a thing of the US being so torn at the moment that like the sheer glimpse of like two seemingly opposing forces coming together with understanding and compassion is like something to clap and stand up for. It's just, I don't know, to me it is a bit gross to make that, but I guess, I don't know, who are you trying to appeal to? Who are you trying to tell the story to? I just felt like I don't need this story. I don't need this in like short form. I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I just was like, oh, military guy, fuck that guy. But I guess maybe I'm the one who's filled with hatred on that side, but I just, yeah, to me, not really redeemable, if I'm being completely honest. All right, now we come probably to one of the weakest categories, although these already were like disproportionately on the lower side already. Apart from The Irish Goodbye, maybe I'm on the high of The Banshees of Inisherin, but it's a story about two brothers and their dead mom that they have to take care of, and them reconnecting. Brotherly love, really charming. Yeah, ultimately quite fun. I'll put that into the C tier, but that's the highest it will go. That's the highest it will go for the live action shorts. I put like La Pupille right next to it, which is about these like small young girls who are orphans, and it's just like their shenanigans, and there's ultimately like not that much going on narratively, but it's all right. It's quite cute. Now, for all the critiques I had for Stranger at the Gate, Ivalu just feels like sadness porn. It's basically like lost sister. Sister has been lost, and then her like the little sister of Ivalu goes trying to find her. It's got some interesting cinematography, I guess, sweeping across the I think it's like Greenland. Yeah, Greenlandic like landscape, but ultimately was like, nah. Oh, maybe I am a bit no. I think the Red Suitcase is solid. I put that like at more towards the bottom of C tier. It's a thriller about a young woman arriving at the airport. I think not in Beirut. Or where was it? No, she arrives in Luxembourg. But she's Iranian, and she's there to meet her future husband that she's been married off to, and she doesn't want to, and all she's got is herself and the Red Suitcase, and she tries to escape it. So it's like this really liminal space type of thriller movie, thriller short film, with her at the airport trying to escape this guy who's looking for her. So it works great. I think I would mind this the least to win. This is overall a bit like nothing. Irish Goodbye would be fun. These three all would be good. If either Ivalu or Stranger at the Gate win, it would be a bit disappointing. Wait, now I put something else in here. Stranger at the Gate is still documentary. I think this will win for documentary though. And then Night Ride, do I put it into F or do I put it into D? No, it's F. It's definitely F. It's like, okay. So there's the actual Night Ride doesn't have a guy holding a gun. But it's these two. So on the right, we got a little person. On the left, we got a trans woman. And this is the most virtue signaled weird shit I've seen in a long time. Where Ebba, I think is her name, steals a like tram. And she goes on a night ride. And then randomly, what's her name? Ariel gets on the tram and gets harassed by a bunch of guys who hit on her first, and then they insult her. And it's and like it takes way too long for her, like Ebba, to stand up for Ariel, and the movie ends with like this. And they don't talk at all, like really. It's just like, it's the most random shit of like, hey, this minority and this minority, they stick up for each other like ever so slightly. That's an Oscar-worthy film. It's just, I don't know, it just rubs you in all the wrong ways with its intentions. So yeah, that's my full list. From bottom to top, go check out all the films I put into A tier. Definitely worth seeking out. From the shorts, that is unfortunately only Ice Merchants. Maybe go check out An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I think I believe it. And Haul Out. So we got like 2 animated ones and 1 documentary feature in here. And yeah, other than that, looking forward to checking out the Oscars. I'll be live here once again getting, this is not an alcoholic drink, but getting drunk with my predictions, which is actually the next thing we're about to do on stream today. We'll go over my final predictions for the Oscars. We do have our own little contest going on that you can participate if you want to. It's like simple enough. All you gotta do is fill out this thing over here. You put in your email. Oops, I just leaked some stuff. No, you just put in your email. Wait, I should put that in chat. It's in the description as well. If you're interested, can I pin this comment somehow? Pin it. Yeah. So in the pinned message, you'll find this prediction sheet. You can win a year of Letterboxd Pro if you submit it before March 11th. So let's go over all of these nominations and have a look at the Gold Derby predictions as well, of what people are thinking will win. All right, final Oscar predictions time. There's like 23 categories that we'll have to go over. If you want to, you can participate in the Quiet on Set Oscar predictions. You can win a year of Letterboxd Pro for free if you end up winning the contest. 1 point given for each correct answer by the end of it. So let's go over my predictions of what I think will win. First up, we kick it off with the supporting actor in a leading role, actually, not in a supporting role. Here our nominees are. Let's have a look over at Gold Derby, what they are saying. They think Austin Butler is currently the frontrunner, followed by Brendan Fraser and Colin Farrell. Paul Mescal at the very bottom. I'd love to see him win, but I do think this one will probably go to... I mean, Brendan Fraser just got the SAG win. I still think this is going to Austin Butler ultimately. Actor in a supporting role. It's long been mentioned that this is the Ke Kwan Award, and I do agree. I think he's probably like by quite a lead. Also the one that's predicted to win. Yeah, and then we got like the more two Banshee boys in third place. Over here, I will also go for Ke Kwan. Next up, actress in a leading role. This is mainly between Cate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh. This is a bit of like a coin toss at this point. They are both like winning some awards. I think overall Blanchett won a bit more. I'm more leaning towards Cate Blanchett winning this. That's just my prediction. Next up, I'm a bit lost when it comes to supporting actress, because I like Carrie Condon the most. Angela Bassett somehow won a bunch of awards and wasn't the biggest fan of like her performance, if I'm being honest, but like apparently she's the front runner. I think I'm going like outside of most predictions. Jamie Lee Curtis also won the SAG, which makes this more of like a three-headed race. Stephanie Su and Hong Chau, unfortunately, both don't really have a shot. Although I do like both of their performance more than Jamie Lee Curtis and Angela Bassett. I'm going with my favorite as well, with Carrie Condon. Animated feature film. Guillermo del Toro has got this in the back. The runner-up, is it Marshall or is it Puss in Boots? I think probably Puss in Boots would be the... No, I think industry-wise, Marcel. Internet-wise, it's Puss in Boots. Cinematography. Ooh, this is really hard if there wasn't All Quiet. I feel like technically, this like in the technical awards, they will get a bunch of stuff. So it's All Quiet. Although I think that Tar has better cinematography. Bardo is on par with All Quiet. But no Top Gun in here, which is a bit disappointing. Costume design. This is hard. I kind of want to check what Gold Derby has. Let's have a look. Costume design. They got Elvis as the front runner, followed by Black Panther, Babylon, Everything Everywhere, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris at the bottom there. I think I would go with Elvis as well. I think Black Panther won this for the original. To be honest, some of the designs in Black Panther Wakanda Forever were just kind of ass. So I don't know who to root for here other than maybe Babylon or Everything Everywhere. So yeah, Elvis probably gonna take more awards than we like. And this is just one of them. Directing. Okay. A big category here. It's really between... Is it between those two? I think it is between like Martin McDonagh, maybe even Steven Spielberg and Daniels. I think they got in the back though, along with like feature and maybe even editing, because Everything Everywhere is also nominated for editing, which is exciting. So that's my prediction. Documentary. I think like Navalny is going to take... I'm interested to see what Gold Derby has here. If they also think it's Navalny, because I didn't check. Would be... it takes so long to load. Come on. Show me the money. Where is doc? Oh, it's at the very bottom. Okay, right here. What does it say? Oh, they also got Navalny. Okay, Because I thought for a long time that Fire of Love was the front runner. And All the Beauty and the Bloodshed might be like a critic's favorite, but Fire of Love would ultimately win. But I guess I'm just picking whatever Gold Derby thinks is most likely at this point. Documentary. Okay. In short subject, this is a bit harder. I do think that the worst film out of the lineup, Stranger at the Gate, will end up winning this. Like I said, I think the only good film out of this lineup is All Out. How do you measure the measure here? It's just kind of same with Martha Mitchell and the Elephant Whisperers. But I'd just like to go for the worst one out of the lineup. So I think it's going to be Stranger at the Gate. They could also go with something like boring with How Do You Measure a Year. Well, would be surprised if it's All Out, but it would be the correct choice in my opinion. Film editing. Ooh, we got Elvis in here, which just kind of means it's going to Elvis, which sucks because I think it should go to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Let's see. I want to see what Gold Derby has. I think I'm... do I pick my horse, you know, that I'm rooting for as well? They also got it most likely. Okay, followed by Top Gun. Because, like, this is realistically the only award that Top Gun can really win. Apart from, I guess, later on, Sound. Where's Sound? Yeah, Sound, it could also win. So I don't know where to lean on this. This is a harder one to predict. Because usually editing is also a great indicator for Best Picture. I think there's rarely ever a movie that wins Best Picture without getting an editing nomination or even winning it as well. So I think I'm going with Everything Everywhere All at Once. Next up, international feature film. I mean, it's All Quiet. It's in the Best Picture 10. Makeup and hairstyling. I'm also keen to see what they picked. They have Elvis at the very top, followed by The Whale. I think Elvis stuff is on Austin Butler. It's great. On Tom Hanks, it's horrific. And The Whale is just better. The Batman is better. All Quiet is way better. I'm going with The Whale. Going against the predictions here. Hopefully, I am right on my hunch. Music, original score, Babylon. I would be surprised if anything else wins. I could see All Quiet with like that win. Yeah, anything else would be a bit surprising, to be honest. Applause. Wait for the applause. No, give it to the actual Lady Gaga song, Hold My Hand. It's definitely going to be Natu Natu. I'm looking forward to the performance, the live performance that they bring. I don't know if they can like replicate that type of high energy as well for a live performance, but I'd love to see them try. So Natu Natu, winning original song, I predict. Best Picture, making it nice and easy, Everything Everywhere All at Once, in my opinion, is most likely to take it home. Production design, another tough one. Elvis has a lot of stuff to do with its period setting, and it kind of just would make sense that it wins. I don't think Avatar has a shot at this. All Quiet and Elvis could be the technical sweepers. I think I'm sticking with Elvis on this one, because I've been rooting against it and not really been picking it when I could, I think. Yeah, I didn't pick it in editing, I didn't pick it in makeup, and it could, like, it's very likely that it wins all of these things. Gold Derby has Babylon highest, followed by Elvis. I'm just going with Elvis straight up. I don't think Babylon's getting a single win. Short film, animated. To me, overall, this is the toughest category to predict, because I got no clue. It could be The Boy, The Mole, The Fox, and The Horse. It could be Ice Merchants. It's the best one. They probably won't win by that logic for this the shorts. I think this is too quirky. Same with this. Although they tend to sometimes go for that. This is 2-0. I think I'm going just like with the basic bitch answer, which is just The Boy, The Mole, yeah, whatever it says. Do we go with the worst one again? With Nitrite? I don't think they'll go with this one. Actually, I think they'll also not go with Ivalu. I think they go with the red suitcase. It's a type of enough virtual signaling in somewhat an actually decent production. That's good enough to get you an Oscar win. So, although I do prefer these two over the red suitcase, I'll pick that one. Sound. Tough category. Maybe Top Gun wins something. It's actually what Gold Derby says as well. It's my instinct. I don't know. Maybe, you know, All Quiet is just really over-nominated in some other award shows. Won a ton of stuff. But this is America after all. So, goddammit, we're going to give it to Top Gun. Especially because I didn't give it to them before for, what was it, editing? Alright, we got the final few with visual effects. This is just the Avatar Award. Incredible visual effects. The best in years, deservedly so. They will get this award. Writing. Okay, two big categories to close it out. Writing for adapted screenplay. I think Women Talking will probably win this award. It could be, I guess, Robbed. I'd say, yes, definitely Robbed. All Quiet, which is a great adaptation of the source material. I agree. But, Yamaguchi. Go with Women Talking, please. That would be my preferred choice. And, yeah, all of these other picks are decent. Surprised to not see The Whale in this at all. That would have been its biggest contender, in my opinion. Now, okay, the most stacked category, because in Best Picture we got some shitty ones in here. In here we don't really have a bad film. The weakest one probably being Triangle of Sadness, maybe followed by Fabelmans, followed by Tar, no, followed by Everything Everywhere, followed by Tar, then by Banshees. So I'm picking Banshees. I'm really curious to see what Gold Derby has here. If it's they also got that, or if they do have Everything Everywhere on top. Let's see. Let's scroll down. They do have Banshees at the top. Yeah, basically how I went. Pretty similarly. So you put in your letterbox name here at the bottom, and then submit your form, which I don't have an email put into here. I'll just go with quiet on set podcast at yahoo.com. So if you do have any inquiries, that's the address to send it to. And those are my predictions. Make sure to submit yours here as well. That way you can partake and maybe win a year of Letterboxd Pro for free. And we'd love to see you in the live stream as well. But that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow, actually, hold up. Tomorrow, I do have quite a bit planned as well. We are doing a Rocky ranking. I didn't have time to go through every single Rocky and Creed film, but I did rewatch the Creed films. I caught the first one last week. I've also already seen, I can leak this, but I can't tell you anything about it. I've seen Scream 6 and I've seen John Wick 4. I just can't talk about it yet. But those will be the topics on the Quiet on Set podcast for the next few weeks. I'm seeing 65 later this week. That one I can talk about pretty soon. There will be hopefully some solo reviews up starting next week again. Got some written out stuff that just needs to be recorded and edited, so hopefully getting back on that. But I'll also be going over, I can tease you real quick actually, all of the films I ended up watching from that were released in February. So we do have, I think, 30 films for the 28 days of February that we can go over, that we can rank. So we'll do that tomorrow. So tune in for that again, and we'll do a ranking and a bracket for the Rocky films. Go check out Creed if you haven't already. We can chat about that tomorrow a bit more. And thanks so much for tuning in. Again, pinned message or in the description of this live stream. Participate in our contest for the Oscars, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye bye.